All right. So, welcome to this is going to be our dog mountain weight class today. All you need are some dumbbells close by. I have a set of 12, 15s, and 20s that I'll be using for today's workout. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to start with about a 5 to 10 minute dynamic warm up where we're kind of moving through some different exercises and stretches, getting everything set up. And then we are going to work our way through 9 different combination exercises. Some of them are combos, some of them are more isolated on a muscle group. So, and after we get through the warm up, I'm going to tell you exactly what your focus is for each round. Okay, so there's 3 rounds of those 9 exercises, and that's our workout for today. So pretty basic, but you get to follow along with me. So let's get started with some dynamic stretches. I'm going to have you guys start in a tabletop position. If you have a mat for your knees, that's ideal. And we are going to start in a cat-cow. What I want you to think about as you do your cat-cow is that you are slowly arching the back, looking up, and think about each vertebrae. So instead of just kind of dropping the stomach right where it feels most comfortable, I want you to think about other vertebrae that feels almost stuck together. Same thing when you're in that cow position or that cat position. Try to break up each individual vertebrae as you do this. We're just going to move through these a couple times. Now, as we go through the warm-up, we will get into a position. You might get into a position that feels real awesome to hold, but I encourage you to try to continue moving your joints through the motion. So try not to hold this one. And let's do one more in each. Nice deep breaths. Oh, and before I forget, if you're wearing a watch or Apple Watch, or if you track your workout, make sure you start it. Today will be more of a functional strength training day. And so you can track that. All right, let's go ahead and roll up into a down dog here. And I want to make sure that you are getting a stretch in your calf, up into the hamstring. So I'm going to pedal out my feet one at a time. Again, moving through this. Really pulling that chest forward. And taking another deep breath here. Now let's inhale. On your exhale, I want you to pull your left foot forward into a high runner's lunge. I'm going to say high runner's lunge here because I want you to keep that back leg elevated. We've got our hands on the inside of your left foot. And what we're going to do from here is just slide our hips a little bit to the left, slide our hips a little bit to the right. Get them all nice and loose. All right, from here, I want you to drop your right knee, pushing your hips forward and pulling your chest out. Okay, so I've got that right knee down, and then I'm going to lift my right leg again. And I'm going to take a deep breath in. On my exhale, do the same thing. Push that right knee down, pull my chest out. Awesome. Now keep that right knee down, and we're going to rock back into a hamstring stretch here. So I want you to rock back, straightening your left leg, and just trying to get a stretch to that left calf, left hamstring. And point that left toe for me so you get a little stretch there in the front shin, and then back here, pull it back again, point it one more time here, and then pull your toe back one more time. Now, before we switch sides, I want you to come back into that high lunge. So we're going to lift that right leg. And now I want you to take your left hand, and we're going to rotate up towards that left side, reaching up as high as you can here, maybe even rotating back a little bit. And we're going to bring it down now, trying to get that left elbow all the way down to the ground near our left foot. This is always one that can be tricky and makes me laugh when I see people who are very tight or stiff. Let's do that one more time. So rotate up, give it a go, see how it feels. All the way down. Excellent, you guys. Now drop that right knee, place your left hand down, and this one's going to be a little bit more awkward, especially if you're stiff. Open your right arm to the right side away from that, much stiffer, and thread the needle through and rotate up. So just getting a bit more range of motion there and back down. Okay, you guys, we're going to switch sides, but before we switch sides, let's go back into a down dog, pedaling out our feet one more time. And hoping you got a good stretch there in the front of your right hip. Now let's go ahead and take our right leg forward. into a high runner's lunge here. So high, just again being I've got my back knee in the air, got my hands on the inside of my right foot. From here, let's move our hips to the left and to the right just a little bit. Excellent. Then let's go ahead and press our left knee down to the ground. As I press my left knee down, I'm actually going to sink into the shoulders, pull my chest forward just a little bit. So I get a real good stretch, maybe in that right inner thigh, hamstring, or in the front of your left hip. Go ahead, lift your back knee. And then again, one more time, press your left knee down, pull your chest out towards the ground. Now let's go ahead and rock back into our hamstring stretch. So I want you to keep that left knee planted, and we're just going to sink back until we get a stretch in our hamstring calf of the right leg. Go ahead, point that right toe for me. And then pull your right toe up towards your shin or towards the sky. And then point that toe again. And one more time, pull it up. All right, bring your hands back down onto the inside of your right foot. Go ahead, lift your back knee into the air, keeping your left hand planted. Rotate your right hand up towards the sky or ceiling here, and maybe even further back. On your way down, I want you to bring your right elbow down to the ground here. But you guys love that part. And then let's go ahead, rotate back up one more time. Nice big stretch through the middle part of your back and your spine, and then bring your elbow down if you can one more time. Now this one a little bit tighter. Keep your right hand planted right next to your right foot and rotate left up. I can't go very far with this one. Don't laugh at me. And then thread the needle just a little bit here and rotate up. And back down. Excellent, you guys. All right, take your foot back behind you. So we're back in tabletop. We're going to come into just 2 inchworms. Inchworms are everybody's least favorite. Just kidding. They're not terrible. But you're going to try to keep your legs straight as you walk your hands in all the way towards your feet. Once you get into this position here, I want you to slowly try to walk your hands back out into a plank position. Lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Lift up into just a little, either cobra or up dog here, whatever feels best. And don't judge me, I don't know my yoga names, and I should. And then let's go back into the inchworm one more time, walking your hands towards your toes, keeping your legs nice and straight. Once you touch your toes, slowly stand on up, rounding your back one vertebrae at a time, rolling those shoulders down and back. We're just going to do a couple arm stretches here. So I want you to bring one arm across the body here. Just get a stretch. We're not going to hold it for very long. 3, 2, 1, and then open up and switch. And what I'm trying to do is lift up a little, but I'm also trying to come across my body for 3, 2, 1, and switch. 3, 2, 1, switch one more time on the side. 3, 2, 1. Good. I want you to do some circles here with your right arm. Just bringing it as high as you can behind you, getting that shoulder joint nice and loose and warmed up, and the other direction, same side. Good. And switch back. Left arm behind you. All right. So let me kind of tell you exactly what I want you to focus on when you're doing your rounds. For the first round that we get through all 9 exercises, I'm going to recommend you start with a lightweight. Just get warmed up, just get the blood flowing, get everything feeling good. When we come back to the second round, what I'm going to recommend you try, if you're feeling good, now listen to your body always, is to go up to what would be a heavy, challenging set. But again, we're working for 45 seconds. So keep that in mind. It's not a small amount of reps. So you want it to be challenging for anywhere from 10 to 20 repetitions. So it's a lot of repetitions, but still a challenging weight. When we go through the third set, and I hate that I have to tell you guys that, but just so you are prepared, we can drop the weight back down to a light or medium weight. So if you have weight options, that's what I want you to do. If you don't have weight options and you're good with like 1 or 2 sets of weights, then just use those. Okay, so here's our first exercise. I'll show you them as we go. I'm just going to start by showing you the first one. And again, I'm starting with light weights. I have 12s. I probably wish I had 10s. but just so you guys know where to start, 8, 10, or 12 would be good. We're gonna come into a suitcase squat. The suitcase squat just means that my feet are gonna be a bit more narrow, because if I had suitcases at my side, I wouldn't be able to keep my feet wide without activating all my shoulder muscles. So feet are gonna be narrow. We're gonna come down into a squat with my butt down and my chest up. As I stand, we're gonna come up into an upright row. Now from the side, what I'm doing is I'm pulling my elbows up and behind me. From the front, the shoulders come right, or the dumbbells come right to about my shoulders. So I'll show you a few of these reps. So from the front, I'm squatting, upright rowing. From the side, I want to make sure my elbows are leading the way. Okay, so just a real quick slow it down. Elbows come up and then back. So you're going to start to feel pinching and uncomfortableness if you just go straight up. We're not going to go straight up. We want to go back and focus on those upper muscles. Okay. If that feels terrible, just go to the suitcase squat. All right, guys, let me get my timer here. And again, we are working for 45 seconds at a time. We'll have 15 seconds in between each interval. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go. I've got my timer going. So you guys should hopefully be able to hear some beeps. So we've got upright row and keep working here with our suitcase squat, okay? And today we've got combination exercises. So quite a few of these exercises where we're doing 2 exercises at one time. Multi-focus. That's a halfway beep. Keep working. And occasionally there are halfway beeps in this workout so that we know to switch sides. Keep going. I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Now we're just going to use one dumbbell. Again, 8, 10, or 12 is great. And we're going to come into a wood chop. So I want you to bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Now we're going to take that dumbbell to our left knee, and we're going to pivot our right foot all the way. Now, as I swing it up, I'm going to come across the chest, press, and I'm going to pivot my left foot. So we're going to go down to the left knee, up across the right shoulder, down to the left knee controlled, pop it up. Go ahead here whenever you guys are ready. And let's just use this first round as a practice round. And I'll tell you when to switch sides. So just keep working on this side. Yep, go ahead here. There you go. Let's do one more on this side. And switch sides. So now I'm going to take it down to my right knee, chop it up to the left shoulder, and back down. And our focus for this one here is our core. Okay, so we're twisting and moving our legs, and we're twisting and moving our arms, but I want you to pay attention to your abs. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Our next exercise is going to be a lateral to curtsy lunge. I want you to hold one weight at your chest. One weight at your chest. So what we're going to do here is we're going to step to the left. We're going to bring it up and curtsy lunge behind us. So let's all do this. Step left for lateral. Come on up. Take that left leg behind for curtsy. Lateral. Up. Curtsy. Excellent. Big step wide left for lateral lunge. And behind you for curtsy. Keep breathing. And switch sides. Now let's step to the right for lateral lunge. And then behind you for curtsy. Good. Okay. Pay attention to your hips. So when you're doing this curtsy lunge, I want to make sure that I'm not rotating my whole hip. I want to keep my hips nice and square. 3, 2, 1. Excellent, you guys. We're going to come into, oh, this one will be tough. 1 or 2 weights. I'm going to continue using my 12-pound weight at my chest. We're going to come into a wide stance sumo squat with a shoulder press. Now, if you want, you're feeling real good, hold on to 2 weights. In 3, 2, 1, sumo squat, press. Sumo squat, press. Excellent. And again, you guys, we're just using this first round to get warmed up. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Okay, please, at the very top, make sure that you are not driving those hips forward, just straight up, halfway. And continue breathing. Seems obvious, but it's also easy to hold your breath. Continue working there. You guys are doing fantastic. Next one doesn't involve any weights. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Come on down to our plank position here. we're going to start by doing elbow taps or shoulder taps. And I'll talk to you about your focus once you're there. All right, so bring your hands close together in a plank and bring your feet wide. Now, if you want to do just a traditional plank or a low plank, feel free. Okay, bring it up. So you can always just hold that plank for 45 seconds. That's great. All right, if you want to make it a little bit harder, what I want you to do is tap either that opposite elbow or that opposite shoulder. Now, your goal for this one, as you're breathing, is to try not to move your hips side to side. Okay, so you want to keep those hips nice and square to the ground. It's really easy as I lift one hand to just kind of rely on moving those hips, but you want to keep them stable towards the ground. That's where your abs come in and this ab stability as well. I'm trying so hard not to breathe very heavily into this microphone, but I hope you guys can hear that. All right, 3, 2, 1, go ahead, bring it on up. Let's grab again a lightweight. And we're gonna put that one lightweight behind our head like this time. So just so you guys can see, it is not on my neck, it is right on my shoulders. And what we're gonna do is a good morning. So I want you to line up your feet underneath your hips with your toes forward. And I'm gonna show you this from the side. All we're gonna do is slide those hips back till I get a good stretch in either my glute muscles, my butt muscles, or my hamstrings. All right, and then I'm gonna slide my hips forward. So I'm sliding back and sliding forward. Now this is really great for back muscles too. Go ahead here. I'm gonna start that 45 seconds over for this round, just so we can get the hang of it. I'm gonna check some form. That looks great there. Good. And the reason I like a good morning is because it helps us keep our back flat, which is super important anytime we're doing a hinging motion, which just means we're pushing our hips back. We don't want to be rounding our vertebrae with weight in front of us or weight behind us. So let's give me about 20 more seconds, 15 more seconds here of our good mornings. And then we'll move on to our next exercise. Continue breathing. Let's inhale as we come on down. Exhale up. And we are going to lay down for our next exercise. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to pause our timer real quick right here because I want us to give us a chance to get down. Let me show you the next 2 moves while I've got your attention before you lay down. Now, our first one, we're going to do a single arm pullover, okay? So, single arm. Hopefully the microphone's not getting caught up here. But what we're going to do is keep our hips down, our shoulder and our head are going to, our shoulders and head are going to be on the ground as well. I've got one hand with the dumbbell over my chest, and then I'm just going to slowly lower that weight over my head, doing my very best to keep my arms straight and also not to shrug. Okay, so what we're going to do is about 22 seconds on one side. As soon as we hear that halfway beep, we will switch sides. Our second exercise is going to be a chest press, but we're going to add a little bit of core with this one as well. So we'll come down with our elbows and keeping our knees straight up. So this will be the easier version right here. Not easy by any means, but easier. All right, if I wanted to make it a little bit harder, what I'm going to do is as I push the weights up, I'm going to lower my legs. As I bring the weights down, I'm going to pull my knees in towards my chest. Okay, your goal with that one is to avoid a ton of arching in your low back. Okay, so again, starting with light weights, just getting everything nice and warm. Go ahead, grab one weight. Let's put it in one arm. Now, if you want, and I forgot to mention this the first time, if you want to add a little something to this pullover, you can add a bridge. And what I'm doing there is I'm just lifting my hips up so they're in line with my shoulder and my knees. You guys ready? All right, let's do it. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, timer starts now for our single arm pullover. Adding a bridge is optional. If you want, you can add that bridge just to get a little bit of extra glute and core activation here. Now with this one, we're not doing necessarily a tricep exercise, which means we're not bending our elbows, but I will say this, we are not necessarily doing triceps today. So go ahead, switch arms. So if you decide that you would like to do skull crusher, you can as well, especially if it's kind of pinchy or pulling in this side. Three, 2, 1. All right, you guys grab another dumbbell for our chest press. we're gonna bring our knees up over our hips here, keeping our feet nice and strong and our shoulders packed down. From here, I'm gonna lower those weights first. Then, if you want, as you press the weights up, your legs go out. And then as I lower the weights, I'm pulling my knees in. So I'm gonna do it slow for this first round, just so you get the hang of it. And again, if I wanted to just take it down a notch, I'm just gonna hold my knees over my hips the whole time. So sometimes, honestly, just holding your feet up can be enough work on your lower abs. You don't need to add movement. Halfway, keep going here. Now, sometimes I'll see with that chest press that we get elbows up way high like this. If you're unsure of what I'm looking at, just go ahead and look at me. Those elbows up high, it's too high. What we want to do is angle them down for today especially, and also in general. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Now, I'm going to pause that timer one more time because that was 8 exercises. We have one more, and this last one you guys are going to love. No, you're not. It is essentially it's a burpee with our dumbbells. So you're like, Dog Mountain weights, what the heck? Okay, but here's the thing. It's not a fast burpee. It's a slow burpee, and essentially it's a big combination move. So let me show you once, and then you can follow along with me. I'll start the timer and we'll get going. So it looks like this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our feet wide. I've got 2 dumbbells right in front of me. I'm gonna jump or step my feet back with my hands on the weights if I can. Then I'm gonna do a little push-up. Okay, so just modified or regular push-up. And then I'm gonna row my left hand up, back down, row my right arm up, back down, and then I'm gonna jump or step in. You can always step in. From there, I'm gonna drop my butt. This is key. The last thing you want to do is lift your butt up and then stand with your back. Okay, so we gotta drop our butt. We're gonna do a bicep curl. We're gonna do a shoulder press, and then we're gonna bring it back down and do it again. Just follow along with me. I'll call it out, okay? I'll say jump or step back. So grab your weights. Bring your feet wide. Here we go in 5 seconds. Make sure you got your arms a little bit further apart for that push-up. 3, 2, 1, hands down. Jump or step back. Push up. Row both hands. Jump or step in. Drop your butt. Lift your chest. Curl. Press. And repeat. Very good. Okay, jump or step back. Push up. Row. Row. Jump or step in, curl, press. Let's get 2 more, just like that. Now you can go at your own tempo, so you can absolutely slow this down. You can always step in. You do not have to jump. 1 more, guys, jump or step back. Modified or regular push-up. 3, 2, 1, give me 1 more curl press, curl press, curl press, curl press. Very good. Rest. Grab a quick drink of water if you need one, or coffee, or whatever it is you're having right now. And we are going to go into our second round. Okay, so for this round, what we're going to do now, I'm going to set my 12s off to the side. I'm going to do my very best to try to use a challenging weight. Now, if you did that first round with heavier weights and you're like, that was hard, stay there. That's fine. But if you want to make it a little bit harder, I'm going to have you guys going into a heavier weight. You guys ready? First one, suitcase squat, upright row. Again, heavier weight now this round, because the third round, I'm not going to ask you to go heavier. So challenge yourself for this one. All right, let's go in 15 seconds. Get set up for that suitcase, which means your feet are narrow, and upright row in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're going to squat it down and upright row back down. Now, I am absolutely using a little bit of momentum from my squat to pull those elbows up, to pull those weights up. So a little bit of power involved here. We're going to inhale down, exhale up. Nice. Ooh, you guys look good. Keep going. You've got 15 seconds here. Keep breathing. I'm going to check our next exercise in 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just grab one weight. Now we're going to go right away from one to the next. We have our wood chop. Okay, so again, wood chop up and back down. Now, if I wanted to make it easier, I'm just going to come right up to the shoulder. Okay, so if you got any shoulder pain, just come up to the shoulder. 3, 2, 1, and down. Pivot those feet. Super important that your toes are turning with the dumbbell. All right, keeps our joints nice and happy. Now I'm just going to show you a little bit harder. I'm going to bring it all the way through and press it up. Keep going. Switch sides right away. Knee, opposite shoulder. Sometimes I like to start with just right here, and then I will move my way up and down. Woo! 3, 2, 1. Good, you guys. Now we're going to do our lateral lunges. Here's what I'm going to do. Hold one weight in each hand. Let's all step to the right side first, and then we're going to do a curtsy lunge. All right, so follow me. One weight in each hand if you're feeling good. We're going to step right. One weight on either side of your leg. Power up. Curtsy. Step right. Curtsy. Good. Stay balanced if you can between the two. So I go right from the curtsy to the lateral and right from the lateral to the curtsy. One more. Halfway switch directions. So I'm going to step left, one weight on either side of my leg, drop straight to the curtsy, and right away to that lateral again. Watch those hips. Keep those hips square to the front of the room or front of you. 3, 2, 1. All right. Woo, this is going to be a tough one. Okay, I'm going to hold 2 weights in my hand. We're going to come into a sumo squat with a press. All right, I'm going to give you a couple seconds here to breathe. We'll go inhale down, exhale up, right back down. Sumo squat, feet wide, 3, 2, 1, and press. Yes. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Woo. Okay, it's easy, but I don't want you to do it. It's easy to push your hips forward because it's almost like a resting position. Try not to do that, okay? Halfway. Really focus on stopping your hips before they come forward, okay? Exhale up, come on. Couple more. Next one, we don't use any weights. Push it, push it, push it. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, set those down. We're gonna come into a plank. Great job. Now you can always just hold that plank for 45 seconds, or you can add some shoulder taps. Oh my gosh, my heart rate's up. You guys ready? Here we go. Hands together, feet wide. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 45-second plank. Now, if I want to make it a little bit harder, I'm just going to add a little shoulder tap with a special focus on my hips. So actually, all I'm doing is really just paying attention to my hips. But even though I'm moving my arms, I'm trying to notice if my hips are moving. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Halfway. Pack those shoulders down. Hopefully you guys, heart rate is up because you're lifting a little bit heavier this round. If you're feeling good, you don't have to. Keep going, you guys. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, stand on up for our good mornings. Now, I'm still going to use one heavier weight this time. You can't use 2 with the good morning, so just pick one heavier one. I'm going to actually put it behind my back like this. We're going to put our feet together, and then we're just going to slide those hips back towards the wall behind you. Good. Make sure that that dumbbell doesn't roll onto your neck. We really want it sitting on our upper back muscles. And I'm using my arms to keep it there. So even though we're working our lower body, you do have to keep your arms nice and turned on, nice and activated. Halfway, you should feel a good stretch in your hamstrings. If you're only feeling this in your lower back, what I need you to do is just continue breathing. So I'm gonna take a real deep breath in as I push my hips back, and I'm gonna exhale as I drive my hips forward. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm gonna pause that timer so we can get down to the ground. So we're gonna lay on our back. Our next exercise is going to be our single arm pullover. Remember, you can add that bridge if you want. And I'm gonna get some heavier weights for my chest press, keep them close by for the second one. So you've got your single arm pullover in a bridge, just as a refresher. This is what that one looks like. Straight arm overhead and mostly straight. So not locked out. What I really want to avoid, I just want to give you one more cue before we get started, is shrugging. So as I bring that arm overhead, try not to shrug that shoulder. Okay, you guys ready? Get set in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead, either in a bridge or hips on the ground. You're more than welcome to keep those hips on the ground, especially if you want to focus more on that upper body. Continue breathing. Don't hold your breath, especially with the dumbbell over your head here. Woo. Remember, you can always bend your elbow if you're feeling any pinching in the shoulder. Halfway, switch arms, and go right away if you can. Keep that shoulder packed down. 1 or 2 more. 3, 2, and rest. Just a quick rest here. Let's bring our knees up over our hips with 2 dumbbells. Now we're going to come into our chest press. And as I lower the weights, keep your legs right where they're at, okay? So lower those legs right where they're staying at. Press up, go ahead. As I press up, my legs can drop out only if I need to. Remember, you don't always need to add movement to keep your core muscles activated and turned on. So just continue breathing as you move the dumbbells and your legs, or as you move just the dumbbells. Halfway. Hopefully you're challenging yourself this round with those weights. Ooh. Keep going with your chest press. Keep those shoulders packed down. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Let's quickly stand on up for our burpees. Here, I'll pause the timer for 1 second. We're going to come into our burpee, 45 seconds. And last time, I think we got like 4. So 4 is good. Anywhere from 3 to 5 is perfect for this exercise. As a refresher, you're going to jump back to plank. We're going to do a push-up. We're going to do a single arm row in each arm. We're going to jump forward, curl, press. Here we go, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and go. No beeps for that one. Remember, push-up, row, row, and then jump in and curl, press. Good. I picked a heavy weight this round to challenge myself. I'm feeling good. And I'm watching my form. Halfway, I got 2. Maybe I'll get 2 more. Woo. Great work, you guys. Look, I only got 3 that round with heavy weight. Starting to lose form. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful, grab some water. 2 rounds down, which means we only have 1 final round. So every time we go through an exercise, I'm just gonna say, this is your last time doing it. As if it makes it any better. Woo, you guys are looking good. Real quick for those of you here, has the microphone muffled at all when I'm on the ground? It's been okay? All right. Cool. Thank you, guys. Great work. So we have our final round. So if that first time you felt that, again, you guys now know you did a lightweight. Hopefully you challenge yourself if you're feeling good with a heavy weight. I'm going to go middle of the road for this final round. Okay, I'm tired, so I want to make sure I have good form. So if you have the option, go middle of the road. So first exercise, one more time, is going to be our suitcase squat with our upright row. The first time I used 12, second time I used 15. I'm probably going to stick with 15s for this one because I know I can. Okay, let me check our timer so that we have enough intervals here, and then we'll get going in just a second. Okay, you guys, we'll go in 15 seconds here. Grab your weights. Suitcase squat, upright row one more time. All right, in 5. Last side here. 3. Doing great. 2. All right. And suitcase squat, upright row. Good. I talk a lot about breathing because it's super important to keep the pressure in your core stable all around. It is also super important to get oxygen to the muscles so they can work properly. Okay, so remember that. Even though it feels weird, you're like, I am breathing. Just pay attention to it all the time. Great work, you guys. If you're feeling any pinching, just change to that suitcase squat or go lighter. That can always be the case. 10 seconds. Just gonna see what's next here. Keep working, keep working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna come into a wood chop. Set one of those weights down, grab one. We'll go quickly into our wood chops. One more set. Okay, remember we gotta pivot that back foot. Let's go down to the right knee. Right knee. And up, 3, 2, 1. Left shoulder. Right knee. Left shoulder. Pivot. If you've played golf or baseball or anything that involves swinging, this is a good exercise for that. So I'm going to bring it up with a little power. I'm going to bring it down controlled. Exhale up. And switch sides. Go left knee, right shoulder. Left knee, right shoulder. Good. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Power up. Well done. Three, 2, 1. Good, you guys. Okay, grab 2 weights if you're feeling good. We're gonna go lateral lunge to curtsy lunge. Lateral lunge to curtsy lunge. Let's all step to the left side first. I keep switching it on you. Left side first. Here we go. Weights, one in each hand if you can. And big step left. Stand up. You can always hold one weight at your chest. You can always do this body weight too. Do not feel like you have to use dumbbells to do these exercises. Body weight for this one especially is just as challenging as you're moving side to side. Good tempo. We're not moving too fast. Go ahead, switch directions real quick right away. Step right, curtsy. Step right, curtsy. I want to make sure you've got good form. If you start to feel any of these moves in your back, you need to drop weight or continue breathing through it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, this next one, I got to go down to my 12s for our sumo squat with a shoulder press. Sumo squat, shoulder press. So feet are going to be a little bit wider. Weights will stay at the shoulders the whole time. 3, 2, sumo squat, shoulder press, and go ahead. 45 seconds here. Starts now. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys can just hear me breathing through this microphone. Also, I hope you're breathing tough too. Your breathing has increased for sure. Good. There's a couple of different ways you can do your press. You can use momentum from the squat, or you can finish the squat before you press, which will be harder on your arms. So both are good. Both are challenging. Make sure you push your knees out to the side as you sit into that sumo squat. Exhale up, inhale down. We are going to set our weights down after this. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Set the weights down, and we're going to come into a plank position. You don't need any weights for this plank. 45-second plank. Now you can either hold low or high, or you can add a shoulder tap. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Before you add any movement though, let's make sure your plank is nice and straight here. So my hips are in line with my shoulders. I'm going to keep those shoulders nice and packed down versus rounding. I don't want to push the ground away from me. I want to sink into it. And then if you're feeling good, you can add some movement. Make sure your legs stay straight. It's also easy to like bend your knee. You got 15 seconds. Let's go. So try to keep your legs straight when you lift up one hand. So I'm pushing through both heels. Breathe. We've got one more exercise standing up after this. It's going to be our good mornings. 3, 2, 1. All right, quickly stand on up, grab one dumbbell. I'm going to use a 15 and put it right behind my neck, but on my upper trap muscles. So not on my neck at all. Okay. Elbows tucked in a little. 3, 2, 1. We push those hips back and forward. I'm going to inhale as I go back. Exhale up. Inhale. Exhale. Good job, you guys. Halfway here. Now, my knees are not moving at all for this good morning. My knees are going to stay right over my ankles. If anything, I'm adding a gentle rotation away from the center of my body. So I'm pushing my knees out to the side with my toes forward. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to pause that timer to give everybody a second to get down on the ground here. So down on the ground, I want you to grab your dumbbells for a single arm pullover. Single arm pullover in a bridge. We're doing one arm and then the other arm and then chest press. Okay, so grab whatever weights you feel comfortable using for those two. Keep them close by. Give you a second to do that. We got 3 moves left, you guys, and we're done for today. 3 more. Okay, we're going to go in 10 seconds. A single arm pullover. Here we go in a bridge if you want. 3, 2, 1. And let's go. You can bend that elbow if you're wanting to work more of your triceps. The reason I wanted to do straight today was so that we could work our lats, which is that big muscle underneath the armpit, that big muscle that helps pull us up. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. It's the fastest 3, 2, 1 you've ever heard. Inhale as you bring that weight overhead. Exhale up. We have just 2 exercises left after this. 3, 2, 1. And rest. I want you to grab your weights for chest press. All right, grab your weights for chest press. You guys ready? Chest press. Adding those knees over the hips. Now, if I want to focus more on my chest press today, so go ahead here, timer starts. I'm just going to keep my knees in the same spot. And I'm just going to breathe through my abs all the way down into my pelvic floor if you can. Now, if I wanted to add a little core exercise, then I can add a little extension with my legs as I push those weights up. Halfway. Keep going. Continue breathing. You got it, guys. We only have 1 exercise left after this. Can you tell I'm excited to be done? 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, let's grab. I'll give you 1 second here to stand up before we finish with our last exercise of the day. Whew. Okay, our burpees. Let's try to get 4 burpees. Push up, row, curl, press. Here we go, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Push up, row, curl, press. Woo! Can't talk and do this exercise at the same time. Woo! Halfway. Halfway. You got it. Keep going. All the way, guys. Come on. 3, 2, 1. And if you can hear those beeps, you're going to hear a bunch because that just means my timer's over. And you guys are Done. Well done. All right, good job. I want to take you through. Yeah, I was about to say, I got my heart rate up for a little bit today, doing some of those exercises and using some of those weights. So that was great. So quick 9 moves, 3 times. That was well done. I want to take you through a couple stretches before we jump off for our rest of our day. So first of all, if you need to grab any water, coffee, feel free to. Once you've done that, I want to just come into a quick stretch for our hamstrings and our back. So take a deep breath in, bring those arms up. Inhale, inhale. As you exhale, straight from the side, we're just going to forward fold. And I'm just going to relax my arms all the way down, dropping my head. If you're still feeling like your heart rate is up and this position feels too intense, go ahead, stay standing for a little bit longer. We're going to stand up, rolling your back, 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll those shoulders down and back. Let's do that one more time. So breathe in, arms up, reach up, reach up. Sometimes I like to come onto my tiptoes. Exhale, forward fold. And just relaxing the muscles in my middle back, lower back, and into my hamstrings. Now from here, let's keep your feet wide. Slowly walk both your hands to the left leg. And from here, what I'm trying to do is feel a good stretch into maybe those back muscles in my right side. And slowly walk your hands over to the right leg. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale. Bring it back to the center. And roll up one more time here. Nice and slow. Rolling your shoulders at the back. I want to bring your hands behind your back, clasp your fingertips together, clasp your fingers together, and then roll those shoulders back. Reach your fists down towards the ground so you can keep your arms straight. From here, I want you to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull the shoulders down away from your ears and gently drop your head to one side. Super important when you stretch your neck muscles that you don't force it. So when I say drop and just stop right where it feels like it's done moving. Go ahead, try the other side. Don't force it again, just gentle stretch. Bring it back to the center and then just drop your chin down towards your chest. For a quick quad stretch, there's 2 stretches you can do. One is going to be just grabbing your leg. Biggest thing with this one that I want you to try to do is keep your knee lined up with the other knee and avoid kind of letting it hang out to the side. The other stretch that you can do if you prefer is to do a half kneeling. And this will get up higher in the hip flexor. So if you're feeling tight or tender up high, come into this half kneeling stretch. If you want more of a stretch down into the quad by the knee, you can come into our traditional quad stretch. And go ahead, switch sides. A deep breath in, slow exhale. Excellent. And the last stretch, I'm going to use the wall for this one. What I'm going to do is cross, I'm just going to use this wall here. I'm going to cross my left ankle over my right thigh. And then keeping my butt right up against the wall, I'm just going to gently lean forward until I feel a good stretch here in the outer part of my left hip. So if my left leg is crossed, should feel this in the left hip. And we're just using the wall for some support so I don't have to balance my entire body weight on one leg here. Deep breath in. So at the end of our workout, you're more than welcome to hold stretches as long as you can, 30 seconds, a minute. At the beginning, we want to make sure we're just moving through so that we're getting everything warmed up. I'm going to switch sides here. You guys can switch whenever you're ready. Take one more deep breath in here if you're following along with me. And then there are like a million other stretches we could do, and I could keep you here all day. Feel free to do any other stretches that your physical therapist told you to do at some point. Now is a good time to do. Thank you guys for jumping on. It was about a 45-minute workout. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see you later next time.